Organization Committees, Florida Congressman Greg Steube, back on the program. Steubes, it's been a hot minute. Glad to see you back. Everything good?
Yeah, good to see you. Outstanding.
All right, let's get to it. You served, I served. I would hope after 3 of our brothers and sisters get killed, this coming after 2 Navy SEALs die, this coming after the 13 in Afghanistan, this coming after 150 attacks, like I mentioned, that our commander-in-chief would be a bit more forceful with his rhetoric towards the terror group that did it and the a-holes who funded it. Oh, that's right, wait a minute. He's the one that released billions of dollars to the Iranian government, who is funding the terror groups, who's attacking our troops. So I guess I shouldn't expect much. Right, Greg?
Yeah, I mean, this is the guy who released $6 billion to the Iranian regime, and then we wonder why we're being attacked. Right before Hamas attacked Israel, they authorized like $350 million to the Palestinian regime, and we wonder why we're being attacked, and they have the resources to fund all these attacks. Over 100 service members have been attacked over now we've had deaths. Over 60 members have been injured, and then you said there's another 40 in this last attack that have been injured, so that's probably now close to 100, over 150 attacks, and this White House has done absolutely nothing. When Trump was president, the Taliban and these other guys wouldn't even try to do anything because they knew that if they stepped over those bounds and attacked our service members, that they would be held to pay. And unfortunately, we have a commander-in-chief who isn't even willing to lift a finger to help and defend our service members. It is a sad, sad day in America that we're in this situation where we have service members being attacked hundreds of times by Iranian-backed Shia militia groups, Iranian-backed terrorist organizations, and we have a White House that's just, oh, well, we're thinking about how we want to respond. How about you respond and defend our service members, go on the offense, and then these people wouldn't do the things that they're doing, but the administration's trying to walk this tightrope because they don't want to upset Arab progressive Democrats in some of these districts, and if they're too harsh in their response, they're going to lose some of those far left Democratic progressive voters. And I care more about the American people and our service members who protect us every day, and you have to stand strong and exude strength, and that's not what's happening from our White House right now.
Speaking of Democrats not serving the American people, serving other interests, we already saw it with Senator Menendez taking all that money and gold and everything and cars from Egypt. Now you've got one of the squad members, Ilhan Omar, under big-time fire. Ilhan, during a speech the other day, said that she is serving Somalians in the U.S. Congress, and she did it in her native tongue even. And I'm like, really? I mean, this had to upset you, Greg, and I see tons of Americans commenting saying, does she not know the oath she took when she won her seat as a United States Congresswoman? And that is to defend this nation against all enemies, foreign and domestic. But in this speech, again, it's in her native tongue, so I'm not playing it. You can see what she said. She literally pledges her allegiance to Somalia and the Somalia folks that live in America.
Yeah, and that district is the one that sent her up here to represent those views. And she cares more about those people from Somalia or in Somalia, just like Rashida Tlaib has a Palestinian flag outside her office around the corner from mine, because she cares more about the Palestinians than she does American and American policy. And that should tell you the direction of the hard left and the progressive left of the Democratic Party. They care more about Somalia and they care more about the Palestinians than they do Americans. And it shows by the response of the White House. It shows by the policy at the border. It shows by the economic policies that this administration has put in place. And that is why it is so vital that President Trump gets elected, because he puts America first. And the American people are gathering behind that movement because they think in America, we should be supporting America first and not all these other countries.
You think so? It's funny you brought up flags, because I remember several members of the squad have had all kinds of crazy flags up. We've seen the Ukrainian flag up. We've seen Palestinian flags. We've seen rainbow flags. And then I guess, Greg, you decided to put up a Christian flag in front of your office. Here's some of the examples of the rainbow and the Palestinian whatever. And now there's atheist groups and Democrats calling for you to pull down your Christian flag in front of your office. How dare they when they put up all kinds of ridiculous flags?
Yeah, isn't it kind of interesting how the left operates? Like all of this far left progressive ideology, LGBTQ, transgender flags, we can support the Palestinian people, hell, we can support Hamas. That's all perfectly fine. That's within their freedom of free speech to be able to display that. But heaven forbid I put up a Christian flag to display my support for biblical principles and for the values of our country and for my faith, and I'm being attacked as a, Christian nationalist and an insurrectionist and all these crazy things atheist groups telling me and demanding me to take the flag down. Well, as you can imagine, the flag is still sitting outside of my office, and we're going to give them a little constitutional lesson on how the separation of church and state was a dicta in a court proceeding. It's not in the Constitution, and we have a constitutional right to express our religious positions on things, and what better place in the halls of Congress to do that? So in reaction to all of the other flags that I saw flying, I thought we certainly should be able to express our faith and where we are in our freedom of religion. And it's just interesting how the left loses their mind when you do something that they don't support.
Speaking of the squad investigations, I briefly mentioned that Senator Menendez is still under investigation for his corruption with Egypt. Cori Bush now, another one of the wonderful squad members. We're just informed today, and she spoke out about it. She claims this is all right-wing conspiracy and a Republican attack, but the DOJ, the crooked DOJ, owned and operated by Joey Biden and Merrick Garland, they're now investigating her for illegal campaign finance distribution. Looks like she spent a little too much money on herself. What do you know about that one?
The far left progressive weaponized DOJ is now a right-wing DOJ coming after Cori Bush. It seems as though their investigation is kind of hinging on the fact that she used official resources. She claims she didn't use official resources. That'll be really easy to figure out if official resources were used. But what's interesting about this story is the hypocrisy of the left. She wants to defund police. She doesn't believe that police should exist. Defund the police department, but she has spent hundreds of thousands of dollars out of her campaign for personal security, for her to have security. But all the rest of us shouldn't have police to be able to protect ourselves up here, back home, or anywhere. Defund the police, she says, but I'm going to spend hundreds of thousands on my personal security.
These people are so, and by the way, when I say these people, I mean liberals. I have to watch out because God forbid somebody's going to misconstrue my words, take them out of context. I mean liberals, these hypocrites. Greg Stubbe, as always, pleasure having you on the program, brother. Take care.